And we are live, I believe. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Death and Tarot Light and Shadow workshop. This is our first workshop, and we are so happy that you could join us. My name is Raven McGill. You probably know me as Alchemist Oracle on Tumblr and my website. And I am one half of Death and Tarot, but I want to introduce you to the other half, the far more lovely half, Alie.
Hi, I'm Alie, also known as Alie Tarot or Alethiomancer, depending on where you met me. I am the second half of Death and Tarot, and I'm really excited for this workshop. It's our first one. It's like, okay. So the first card that we wanted to look at is actually the one I picked. It is Strength. And oh, okay, I'm using the Ostara Tarot deck tonight, so that's what I'm going to be showing my cards of. So this is Strength. I love it. Strength is a great card. It's one of those beautiful inner strength things. So the whole patience and grace and strength, obviously, but also personal power and willpower, which is great. The shadow of that is when you take it a little bit too far with the personal power and the personal strength, that you disconnect with your own emotions to some degree, and like disconnect from the compassion side of it. So like you can see, like especially in this card, it's holding her heart outside of herself. So it's like taking on so much that you lose connection with yourself. Anyway. That's my shadow strength, Raven.
Well, you know, when we were talking about it earlier, you mentioned that part of that shadow side is sacrificing more than is necessary.
Yes, definitely.
That really got me, because I mean, who doesn't know usually it's a mother-in-law, but that absolute martyrdom that some people have.
Yes.
You know, there really isn't a major arcana card out there that screams like you're being a martyr. So I really like that you can see that in Strength. That adds a whole other layer to reading. So it's wonderful.
Yay!
So for my major arcana pick, the one that I wanted us to see the shadow in, I chose the Empress. Glare, I don't know how to make it so that you guys can see.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm using the Prisma Visions Tarot. And, before I forget, let me apologize if my microphone is a little wonky. I might sound like a robot. Anyway, moving forward, the Empress. So here we have, you know, everyone thinks of the Empress as the mother figure, very nurturing, very gentle. And when I looked at this card looking for a shadow side, I got a little pop culture reference here. I hope you guys have heard of The Slap. It was a little mini-series on TV. The shadow side of the Empress is Rosie from The Slap. And if you haven't seen it, I'll give you a really quick rundown. She is the mother of a young boy. And she's that mother that is kind of so crunchy granola and so loving and so caring that she's created this totally undisciplined and selfish child. And that's what I see in the shadow of the Empress, the mother that just goes way too far.
Helicopter parenting a little bit.
Or the other extreme of that, the laissez-faire. Like, the kid's running around in the backyard and he's hitting people with sticks, and she's like, he's expressing his individuality. He's an indigo child. That's my friend.
I could totally see myself being the laissez-faire, except with like the martini glass. It's like, good for you, son. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily nurturing. Not really nurturing, like trying to nurturing the wrong thing. Yeah, what's interesting is with the Ostara Tarot is that she's got a bit of a skulk thing going on.
She does.
And so that's what I find interesting, that it's almost like the mums who I get some readings at some events where people come up and they want to like spy on their kids. Like, what's my son doing right now? It's like, okay, chill. but is that kind of feeling that it's like going through laundry and like going through clothes and like checking receipts in the garbage bin. I don't know if anybody who had a mom who did that, like mine. Anyway, but yeah, so like there's a lot of stuff caught up with mums in general as well, and that's the energy of the Empress, is the mum, and it's very easy for that to turn dark, I think.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You picked a good one. You picked a good one. So we did a few, like just some from different places. So the next one that we were going to look at is in the minors. And the minor I grabbed, oh shoot, I put it in the wrong spot. There we go. Ha! I was all proud of how organized I was. Okay. The 9 of Cups. Oh gosh, glare. I've got glare too. This card is just so beautiful. I want to find a non-glary spot. Oh, there we go. The 9 of Cups. This is one of my favorite cards. It's the whole reason why I bought this deck in the first place, because who does not want teacups and cats?
I do. I want teacups and cats.
I can still see your cat's butt, by the way.
I know, everyone right there. That little patch of black right there. I'm going to poke it. Yes. Oh, the depth perception. There we go. Okay. One of them.
Anyway, so the 9 of Cups is that feeling of like rest and relaxation after a long day, like being proud of like your hard work and being able to chill out afterwards. But like that can really get taken to a place of indolence, and not necessarily out of laziness, but like the place where I find it really dark. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I'm totally nervous. Right, okay, so yeah, so this is the easy life, and not in the whole like, hey, life is easy, but life is comfortable. There's no challenge here. I'm in the relationship that I don't really feel like breaking up from because it's more comfortable this way. I don't want to have that fight. I'm in a job that I don't like. I might cry in the shower every morning before going to, but it would be harder for me right now to quit. That's the dark side of the 9 of Cups. It's like trapping yourself in that comfort zone of like that trick that this is easy. It's not easy. You're making it harder for yourself.
You know, and I think that's something that comes up a lot when we read for others. Very often, someone who comes to us for tarot readings, I think they come from that place of something is wrong, but I don't know what to do yet. But everything seems fine. Everything is kind of fine. Like, why am I complaining? What do I really need to change? And
yeah, it's like, you know, he's nice.
yeah.
Why am I not happy? He's so nice.
Mm-hmm. And I love that you picked that card. Because in this shadow world of tarot, if we're looking at, you know, all of the dark, nasty sides of what are normally good cards. Not good, I shouldn't say that. Light cards.
Pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
Generally more less scary. They come across as less scary. Who doesn't want to see, you know, oh, things are comfortable. Like that's fluffy. Ooh, that almost seems like a mean word to use there. We'll stick with light.
Right. Well, we picked those cards on purpose because it's finding the shadow in those that can be challenging. So I love your 9 of Cups, the person who is with their partner, because it's fine. It's just fine. I mean, they bring home dinner every now and then, and maybe the sex isn't that great anymore, but it's fine. So,
and it's not like we're fighting.
Exactly. We're not fighting. Yeah, his face kind of makes me angry sometimes, but you know.
If he picks his nose one more time, I might break it.
It's that kind of energy that leads into the shadow side of the 10 of Pentacles.
Oh, I haven't seen that card yet. Hang on, put it back.
Yeah. I hope you can see. What we have here is like a little garden and then a family in the distance swinging a kid. by the arms. But it's like, this is a really nice thing right here. Who doesn't?
It's very idyllic looking.
It is. And the Ten of Pentacles is typically a very idyllic. You have everything. I think in a lot of decks, it's actually a rainbow.
Yeah. Or is that the cups?
Oh, shoot. That might be cups.
On the cups is the rainbow.
And Pentacles is the house.
Yes, with all the family and the dog and...
Well, what I saw when I looked for the shadow side here with the Ten of Pentacles is, you know, more than just empty possessions. I think everyone has known someone in their life. Usually when you're kids, you see that kid that has like all the cool toys. And for their 16th birthday, they got a car. And for spring break, they were flown down to Virginia Beach. You know, it seems like they've got everything. All of their wants are taken care of. They want for nothing. But it's just a candy coating. It's just the sugar shell, and underneath it is crap. I mean, their parents don't talk to each other anymore. And, you know, they're under a lot of pressure for something, or it's that beautiful, glorious outside that is meaningless. Because without meaningful relationships, without love, without, you know, all those things that we strive for, what good is that mansion? And of course, I know some people are going to say, like, no, give me the mansion. I'm serious.
No, I know. I kind of want the mansion. But what you're actually making me think of, too, is I'm going to pull my pop culture reference out and only do it half-assed because I can't remember a name, as per usual. Gravity Falls.
Yes.
The town founder family that wasn't really the founder. The little girl who's got, like, all of these beautiful things. I can't remember her name. It's driving me a little bit crazy.
Not either.
Oh, I was counting on you. Hang on. I want to see if it comes up in the chat. Save me. Anyway. So she had, like, there's that episode with the mini putt where it's like, she's so perfect and has everything and she's going to win this. And you see that candy coating, that beautiful idyllic garden veneer slip off where her family's like, you have to win this because we don't lose. And it's just like, oh, hardcore. This is like vendetta stuff. No. But that's totally 10 of Pentacles. The way I think of the 10s is like the 9s are fulfillment and then the 10s are and then some. So it's like, I think I stole that from Four Queens, Kellyanne Maddox, from like 3-4 years ago. But it really is like you've gotten what you want, but then it's a little too much. Just a little too much. Yeah. Okay, so the court cards. Which one did I pick? Oh, yeah, the Page of Pentacles. Okay, first off, this card, like, I'm first offing with this card being beautiful, like, for every single one, so bear with me. So the Page of Pentacles, we have this beautiful student, and she's got her head looking up into the clouds, and she's been learning and, like, really gathering knowledge. But, like, there's always that one person at college or university who is, like, the professional student. That they just keep on learning and they keep on going into programs and they change their majors over and over. And for, like, that's not bad. It's just, for some people, that's just figuring out what you want to do. But for the shadow of the Page of Pentacles, that's being afraid to actually try something, to actually do something. Staying in the learner's mind and not moving on to doing. That's the shadow of the page. It's the fear of, like, moving forward. At least that's what I see.
And I really like that the phrase that you used, the fear of failure.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about that, I started thinking about, well, you get the Fool reversed, or you get the shadow side of the Fool, and you think, that's fear of failure, but it lacks that nuance. Go ahead. You look.
No, it's like you with the page. You set yourself up to try. You like put yourself in a position where it's like, okay, I've been planning for this. I've been working towards this. hard sometimes to take that leap. And like maybe the antidote for the shadow side of the page is the Fool.
Could be. I know that you read with reversals, and I technically don't, but I still read with the shadow sides of all cards. And this is why I really like reading with upright cards. When you get the shadow of the Page of Pentacles, as you've described it, it is a different feeling than a reversed Fool, or even the shadow side of the Fool. So it's like you had 78 meanings, and now you have somebody double that. Calculate it for me, because I
156.
Something like that. We're good in that.
I'm the bookkeeper.
Thank you. You have so much more. So many more meanings. In the chat, by the way, someone said Pacifica. Was that her name?
Oh, yes, it's Pacifica. Oh, the chat is like 30 seconds behind us. And honey, you're totally hearing Raven distorted. Sorry, Moira.
I know it's my turn to talk, but I have to plug in my chat laptop. So
okay, you get the plug. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I feel like I should do a dance or something while Raven's gone. We're gonna let's all go to I can't. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming tonight. I'm so happy we've got people here, and I love that you guys are hanging out in the chat. Yeah, you're just the greatest. You're like my favorite people right now. If you could, I think it would be super awesome if you wanted to put in like somewhere where we can find you outside of YouTube. So if you've got a Tumblr that you're comfortable sharing, or an Instagram. I'm not really on Twitter. Raven, I don't think you are that much.
I'm sort of on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm sort of on Twitter too, but it's mostly just like, wow, TTC, complaining about local traffic. But yeah, so if you guys want to put something in the chat so that later we can find you, because you're like our best friends right now. You're like the chosen 10 who like are sticking it out with us, and it's so awesome. But yeah, Raven's back, and so thus concludes my ramble-a-thon. Take it away.
Cool. Okay, ready now to talk about the court card that I picked. What I have here is the King of Wands, and it's kind of like, even despite the glare, it's kind of hard to see what's going on.
It's really whirlwindy.
Yeah, it's this guy with a crown in a whirlwind of creation, basically. He's just in this sort of wilderness of creation. And so, of course, we have, the light side of the King of Wands is, this grand creator, this grand leader, this motivator. And this one I was immediately drawn to pull out the shadow side, because I don't like working for people. I immediately saw one of my old bosses in this card. He was idolized. And I can't go too into it because this is public, but he did a lot of good things. He was kind of this really important person in the nonprofit world. And he was very old at this point. And people just loved him. He always had, brilliant ideas, and he motivated people, and he was a thinker. And he thought outside the box, but that's the shadow side of this. It's that brilliant boss that you just don't get. You do not get it. His ideas, or their ideas, that kind of King of Wands personality, as motivating as they are to some people, they lack practical support. They lack logic. You sit there at the meeting and you're like, so that's what you want to do. How are we going to do it?
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, do you understand like logistics?
Exactly. So, kind of an ass, a little pompous, very do as I say, not as I do.
This is him in the Ostara, which
that's a little man on On a reindeer?
It's a deer with like a wand.
Oh, okay.
So like a fire deer rather than a reindeer because it's got like fire antlers.
Cool.
But I can totally see that, like, follow me, I've got these brilliant ideas kind of deer thing going on with that. And it's like almost like you have to chase to keep up with those people.
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh. So much chasing.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever quite worked with that personality. I have had people in my life who would have the brilliant ideas and have these huge, big ideas. And like the few times that they've pulled it off, it's just like, I don't understand how you did this. How did you do this? You're magic. And so like that's the really cool aspect of it. But then when they expect you to do it, no.
Right.
So we wanted to have like a fourth card that's outside of the core to the major arcana or the minors. So my wild card I picked was the Seven of Swords. And I picked this for two very specific reasons. One, it's already kind of shadowy. The Seven of Swords is that deception, betrayal, theft, loss. It's already pretty shadowy. And then the second reason is because it's a raccoon. But I can't. Okay. So it's a raccoon and he's stealing the swords. And he's just so cute. He's so cute. Anyway. And so I thought it would be neat to look at, like, how can you shadowize something that's already shadowy? And it really is about turning it back on, like, so who is the betrayer here? This is one of like those sticky points that can come up sometimes when you're doing readings, is that someone will be like, you know, I want to know about my relationships, blah, blah, blah. And you start noticing things that they maybe don't want to admit to about themselves. So, you know, if you keep thinking that your wife is running around on you, is that because she's actually being sneaky, or is it because you've got some guilt to work through? Is this just paranoia? Are you working through some stuff, like, you know, there was something that happened in your past that you still need to sit down and like do maybe some serious shadow work on? Like, it's turning I think this is asking who is the betrayer, because you might be betraying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Suckville to have to talk about. And even to recognize, like, if I pulled this for myself and was just sort of like, oh, I would probably do everything in my power to try and just be like, no, someone's going to steal from me. No, it's not me. It's totally me. But
when you pick that card, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Like, it's so easy in a reading to pull that for someone else and go, oh, honey, someone around you is dishonest. Who is this? There's someone here that's not good for you. But when it's, no, it's them who's not good for them, what in the world do you say?
Right? It's just, oh, yeah, that's a hard one for the reader to interpret tactfully. But also, like, it's a really hard one, I think, for the queer to face. And so I think this is a really powerful shadow side because of that difficulty for everybody involved. I once had a doctor tell me of a wisdom tooth extraction that it was going to be a nightmare for everyone involved. He was right, turns out.
Oh, God. Yeah, so you kind of doubled up on the shadow of the Seven of Swords. Good job, Alie.
Extra shadowy.
My wild card, what I picked was the Ace of Chalices. Ace of Chalices, Ace of Cups. Such a pretty card.
That is so pretty. Oh, it almost looks like, it turns so it stops looking like it, but my first thought was like those champagne towers at parties.
Yep, I get that. And who doesn't love? I don't know anyone who looks at the Ace of Chalices and goes, like it's a big glass of water, it's a big old glass of champagne. There you go. It's refreshing. It's an overflowing of good emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we like to see in the Ace of Chalices. But if you're reading the shadow side, not necessarily the reversed side of the Ace of Chalices, what I see is a big glass of gin with a Vicodin chaser.
Yes. Oh gosh, that is a migraine in the morning.
It is a numbness that we very rarely, hopefully rarely, experience in our lives. I mean, I was looking at it and thinking about this kind of numbness, and what it brings to mind for me is, if you're at a funeral, sorry to bring this up on a Tuesday night, but if you're at a funeral and you've cried your heart out and you've had all this grief and you've emptied everything until there's nothing left, and what you're left with, to me, is the shadow side of this numbness that's like a sense deprivation tank.
Oh, that's good. This is the water.
Thank
I see what you did there.
Well, it works twofold. Ready? So at a funeral, you are surrounded by grief, but because you've spent all of yours, even though you're surrounded by it, you don't feel it. And it's the same with the sense deprivation tank. You are in water, but you don't feel anything. So I bet some people could really relate to this.
Yeah.
Being in the midst of something and not even being able to feel it. So that's my super shadowy Ace of Chalices. I hope I haven't ruined it for you.
Well, I find what's interesting about that is that you were saying that, people can relate to it. The way that I relate to it is that part of my mental landscape is I experience disassociation.
Mm-hmm.
So that when you're talking about the numbness and like the being amidst all of this feeling and just like,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the like aspects of disassociation that I experience, and like that just like was like, oh yeah, girl, because like that, it's a very extreme coping mechanism that oftentimes is built from trauma, but it's still like it's an expression of an overflowing of emotion. It's okay, yeah, so heavy, thanks. Thank you. Christ. And not a light note or something. I don't know.
Champagne New Year's. I hope you guys get Ace of Chalices in your readings.
Here, there's my happy Ace of Chalices.
Oh, that one's cool.
Yeah, they've got the little fox masks on, or the rabbit masks. I don't know, they're cool masks. I think fennec foxes. They're wearing fennec fox masks. And just like partying, and it totally fits that. Like, also, big cup of gin with like it in it. Yeah. Okay, so we've got to wait about 30 seconds for the chat to catch up. But in case anybody brought their decks, like I think Raven asked them to when she sent out the emails,
Oh no, I failed.
Oh, I should have proofread better. I was just like, these are amazing. Send them. Anyway, if anyone has their decks on hand. Sorry, Raven?
Sorry, I was just going to say, we have a chat room full of tarot readers. They all better have a tarot deck. Moving on foot.
Right? So guys, grab your decks. Let's see, like, is there a card that you want us to talk about? Like, we don't really have it set up so that there can be like a group camera thing going on, but like, I have my cards very carefully organized so I can very quickly flip through them. So if there's any cards that you want us to like just on the fly talk about, so this could be really hilarious. I'm wearing a dress, so you can't catch me with my pants down. But yeah, let us know some cards. And I'm just gonna, sort of delay for about 30 seconds while the chat catches up with the video, because I love you guys. Ooh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy and paste some of these beautiful Tumblr and account names that are in the chat because I want to follow you guys. Oh, I already follow most of you.
I hope we don't lose the chat after this.
That's why I'm doing it now, because I figure Okay. Oh, I think somebody just said the King of Swords. Oh, I have some issues with the King of Swords. Let me tell you.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're both desperately trying to copy the chat so we don't lose your information. It's resulting in silence.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry, Raven?
You want to see what their reflections on the shadow sides are first before we run off on a tangent?
I'm really concerned that the chat lag is going to be an issue. There's one cute reflection here on the Six of Cups about the sweet and innocence, but sometimes seeming sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's the Queen of Swords. She's something. Okay, I'm going to grab my swords, and I'm going to grab my cups. So how about we just start off on the King of Swords, and we can circle back after we do a couple and see what people have to say. I'm so sorry the chat is not in sync with us, or else this would be a lot more interactive. So the King of Swords, I have commentary on. And I say that with emphasis. This is my King of Swords. This guy would come up for me as a representation of someone very awful in my life and started to be the stand-in for that kind of person that I've experienced. So the King of Swords is that like very, very intellectual, very smart, like a whip or a sword person who like ostensibly has it together, and they're like, you know, they're the analytical side of the game. I see the King of Swords as a gaslighter.
Ooh.
So I hope I didn't just ruin him for anybody. But I see him as the shadow of the king is the abuser who uses his intelligence and his wit to manipulate people.
You know what I see? I bet you don't.
Look, we've talked about this. I'm not clairvoyant.
I'm sorry. This is me stalling and
Oh, you're still trying to find it. I can like hold up this card and like make sad faces about this kind of person more.
No, I've got oh good. Oh no, I've got my King of Swords. I was just trying to get also Queen of Swords, Three of Cups, and Six of Cups because those are popping up in the chat.
So you're trying to do all of them at once?
No, I want to start with the King of Swords because this I've also got a connection to the King of Swords, and it's not a very good one either. It's being public. I just don't know how much to say.
I totally just did that same thing. It's just like, ah. Yeah.
There is a father figure in my life, and I always see him as the King of Swords, but never the light side of it. The shadow side of it that I see is sort of a hyper mental space. I see basically extreme anxiety, someone who is so wrapped up in thoughts, and like they are maybe the seppuku. It's like they impale themselves upon their own thoughts, and it's just this. Oh my goodness, that goes great.
You were looking at your cards when I was holding him up, but yeah, it's totally that like.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different ways that mental game can be played, like both inwardly violent and outwardly violent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Right. So, I mean, we usually see King of Swords as the benevolent.
Yeah.
I want to say ruler. He's kind of just like, he's in charge. He's benevolent.
But
there.
not like the crazy energy of the King of Wands, but like the sane, knowledgeable, reasonable, logical, sort of King Solomon cut the baby in half sort of thing.
Yeah. And what I see instead is the insane side.
I see the dick side. Okay, so I think the next one that we saw was the Six of Cups. So I get this one so often in my event readings. I do these like crazy events where I have one card 1 minute, and I end up doing like over 90 readings over the course of the evening, and it's just like flashcards. But this one I have noted comes up a lot for people, especially who are at parties. So I don't know if that's something. So it's always been very, very nostalgic for me. I find this card in particular, I mean, it's children holding bowls of what looks like memories to me, lifting up. And so in the Rider-Waite-Smith, it's the two kids playing in a courtyard. And the thing that's always caught my eye is the guard walking away in the distance. And it's kind of like, are they supposed to be there? Like, that's always been my little twinge. Like, so the nostalgia aspect, the shadow of that would be like the bad memories to me. Like getting stuck on like, you know, I'm thinking of like siblings at this point. So me and my brother, right? We are there for each other. We love each other, but we could very easily get stuck in like the times when we have just like hated each other because siblings, that's what they do, right? I mean, is that like getting stuck in memory as well? Like there's that aspect to it too for me, just like not moving forward because you only see the past.
Right. I get, you know, that is not something that I would have ever seen in Six of Cups.
I'm just going with it. I didn't prepare notes on it, okay?
It's okay. It's okay. That's something a little different for the Six of Cups. Because it is so, well, I got two things, but it's not regarding this deck. So here's my Six of Cups. It's just a woman in a lily pond. Lily pond? Lily?
It looks like, yeah, lilies.
I don't know. It's just nice. It's nice and peaceful. I think she looks kind of cold, but whatever. She seems to be that. And Six of Cups often gets, you know, that sort of like childhood treatment, the nostalgia, or two young kids doing whatever. And I've seen that come across in a reading as kind of like a delayed response, not delayed response. Someone who is, that's it. I mean, delayed in their, delayed in their growth.
Oh, so the guy who lives in his mom's basement, not because he needs to save money and has a crippling amount of debt, but because he just doesn't want to have a roommate or an apartment.
Right. She wants to stay in that water because, I mean, why get out? Like, it's a nice place to stay, but we're not meant to stay there. It's meant to visit. Once we grow out of childhood, it's important to bring those parts of ourselves back, but if you live there, it's gross. We don't like seeing, I don't know who likes seeing an adult or a parent. You can hear my cat screaming.
I love it.
Like seeing a mature person live all the time in that space of childhood. Something unsettling about it, and that's what I see.
Well, that's interesting that I saw is that where I look at the card, and maybe it's because I'm so exposed to this deck, I'm so immersed in this deck right now that I see memories and I see thoughts and I see the mental space, being stuck in that mental space of the past. Whereas you see the physical space, being stuck in the physical space of the Six of Cups, of that like extended childhood.
And to be honest, I'm pretty much every one of these, I'm seeing a specific person in my life. So this is someone I know.
I'm trying not to apply it to someone I know because it feels kind of judgy.
Shame on me.
No. For me to do it to this person is judgy. I'm calling myself out for being a dick, not you.
It's fine. I accept.
Oh, wait. Okay, hang on. We've got a comment. Antique antimony. Oh, I missed it. Oh, the Six of Cups. Oh, for the Six of Cups, there's conjoined twins. Oh, that's interesting, too. In the antique antimony deck?
Anatomy.
I read it. Is antimony like a poison?
It's a word. Not quite sure what it is.
Anyway. Yeah, with the conjoined twins, like that's a similar aspect. It's more on the physical side of what you're saying as well, like being trapped in the sort of sibling stage too. So I love the nuance. I love the nuances you can get across decks.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
That's the best. Look at that. Okay. Antimony is an element.
Oh, hey, so kind of a poison, probably.
Maybe, probably. Thank you so much, Laura.
Okay, you go with Queen of Swords. Lead off.
Okay, I was worried that you would say that.
I just feel like I've been hogging.
No, it's totally fine. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Queen of Swords in the Prisma Visions deck. We have there's this whole big story that's told across each
suit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So here we have the Queen of Swords basically taming this wild beast. Well, it's a swan, but it's kind of a monster in the story. And the shadow, I don't resonate super strongly with the Queen of Swords. I don't. She's fine. It might be that I don't know any. Honestly, for me, tarot is such a drawing the lines between people that I know and things I've experienced and things I've seen, that when I don't have that person or that experience, to me personally, there's not a lot here. But if I was reading for someone, I would see it. So I've got to say, I'm on the spot. I can do it. Shadow side of the Queen of Swords. She's generally pretty shadowy. Do you want to come up here, Wendy? No? Okay.
Is it gray?
It is gray. It is our mascot.
Gray, Babby. Okay, I'll stop. You can talk. I'm sorry. I got caught up with the cat.
Oh, no, it's okay. This might be a good way for me to flake out on talking about this
You
card.
want me to take over for a little bit? Okay. So the Queen of Swords, I actually wrote. Oh, Gray!
Oh, God.
I love him. Okay, I'm gonna. Cats. All right. I find it really interesting, Raven, that you don't have anybody that you think of as the Queen of Swords, because I used to think of myself as the Queen of Swords.
Mm-hmm. A lot of tarot readers do. Fine.
And this is one I have a hard time getting away from because of the shadow side of it. And it's a way that I get down on myself is when I'm just like, I'm being really swordy.
Mm.
Because I see the shadow side of her knowledge and her wisdom to be critical. And you heard me call myself out on being judgy. That's the thing I do. I get judgy.
You know, I think I'm kind of getting something for Queen of Swords. And it's only because I think of all the queens as mothers first. So I am now kind of getting...
We could go back to the Empress on how everybody's got their whole bag of mommy issues.
Right? I'm going back to judging people that I know. So, Queen of Swords, that is the...
Skunk's moving!
Oh yeah, there's the monster cat. There you go.
And he's gone.
Coming through. Okay. If all of the queens are mothers, which they are not, this is just one way of looking at it. I don't mean to be so restrictive in the meaning.
Yeah.
Well, the Queen of Swords is a shitty mom. She's not into it. She's not into it at all. Pop culture, and you're gonna hate me for this, so I'm sorry, Alie. Oh, cat fight.
Oh no!
Hold on.
At least I get to hold off on getting mad at you.
Yeah, you do. Big Bang Theory, okay? Queen of Swords is Leonard's mother.
Okay, wait, Leonard's mom.
She is a...
the therapist.
Yes.
Yeah. I love Howard's mom before she passed. She was amazing. I love her. She was a Queen of Wands.
Yeah, yes, definitely. A lot of comments going on here, which are awesome.
Oh, okay, let's check in. A woman who never got to have kids, whether she wanted to or not. Career first. Yeah, that's totally the career comment. I see that for sure.
Oh. Lifeies. Yeah,
I think
swords really are shadowy as a whole, and it's funny how it translates in other decks. Sorry, little tangent, but we have the time, so I'm going to take it.
yes.
The Cosmos Tarot has the suits Earth, Air, Fire, Water, and they sort of correspond to Cups, Pentacles, Wands, Swords.
Is it a tarot deck or an oracle deck, Raven?
It's an oracle deck, even though it's called the Cosmos Tarot. That's my official stance. That's a discussion for another time. But the air cards, I was going through them, I'm like, man, swords can't catch a break. The air cards, really tough, really shadowy.
Yeah. I've always thought of the swords as being so shadowy because they represent a lot of mental landscape. And thinking is hard, dude. Like, that's just the easiest way I have to put it. It's just, you know, thoughts can be weapons for and against. And so that analysis, that logic that comes along with the sword is just ouch. And I mean, it doesn't help that it's a freaking sword. I mean, what else are you going to do with it? Stab somebody.
Right. I'm sorry, I got caught up on the chat.
Oh, Miscellaneous Morgan just said that she sees her as the Shadow Queen, as the Ice Queen. Definitely. Using the intelligence to manipulate. So that's like the more nurturing side of the King of Swords that because I've got, you know, gender stuff tied up with it. But I'm sure she has experience with somebody manipulating her as well. Most of the time we see it because we know it. I don't want to be presumptuous. Forget it. I'm sorry I said that. Shoot.
No harm meant. I've never seen the Queen of Swords in the Thoth deck, but I like the idea that she's holding a head.
Well, and that, okay, so I've been dancing around the Thoth deck like a lot. And as soon as I see a woman with a beheading thing going on, it instantly makes me think of Salome, which was my favorite Bible story because, okay, disclaimer, lapsed Catholic. I love John the Baptist. I always loved John the Baptist. I thought it was amazing, this like complete and total whack job walking out of the desert after like spending years out there eating locusts, being like, he's coming! I just thought it was hilarious. And so just that, for some reason, it goes straight to that whole Salome asking for his head thing.
And my first thought goes to Shakespeare, and all I can think of is Lady Macbeth.
Oh, I love her. I played her once. It was just an English class, but it counts.
It counts. It does.
So I love the Queen of Swords really seemed to resonate with a lot of people. Yeah, God. Oh, people have some really amazing things to say in the chat. I feel bad. I'm getting like caught up in the chat, but I don't want to. I want to engage.
Well, we've got one more to talk about.
Ooh, okay, yeah, the Three of Cups. So let's scooch over to that. Everybody, you're amazing. I love you. Thank you for chatting so much. Okay, the Three of Cups. I want to show mine because it is interesting and very hard to see with the glare. It is only barely 3 cups. It is ladies submerged under lily pads trying to drink these cups by pulling their head above water. It's very difficult to see, and it's very interesting interpretation, and I think it's the shadow, like, right on the card for me. Because, like, normally with the Rider-Waite-Smith, I see the 3 of Cups, and it's just like, drinks with the ladies! Drinks with the ladies! Going out tonight! Oh, yeah! But then there's the overindulgence of that, you know, celebrating with people. I mean, I'm an introvert. I can only do so much. And then I just have to, like, go hide in a corner for about 20 minutes while people, you know, wonder where I am because I probably ran away in the middle of this conversation.
So are you seeing Ladies' Night gone to a bad place?
Yeah, like Marsha broke her heel and is puking off the curb, and her hair did not get pulled back in time. We failed as friends. Like that pouring into a cab story.
Or I can see this going so many terrible ways.
We have those nights. We all have those nights.
I was just about to say I haven't had that night, but I've fantasized about being able to have that night so that I could go, no, I'm not going to do that.
I'm taking you out. I'm always Marsha. I'm always the Marsha with the broken heel puking off the curb. I like, you know how there's always that friend where it's like when you text them, it's caps lock their name, no. I have so many Alie, no texts. So many.
We have someone here whose their Three of Cups is 3 skeletal figures, 2 crying, and 1 standing in the middle. Is that the Antique Anatomy, I'm guessing?
I need that deck. I really need that deck. Yeah, that's very much the, like, you know, group atmosphere going south.
Right?
Like, even friends turning against each other, maybe, because in toxic friend groups, sometimes that can happen.
That's what I was going to. I have to deal with the cats again. Sorry.
Okay.
That's a story, so go with that.
Okay, yeah. No, because, like, it happens that in friend groups, people talk, and people have opinions. They're like assholes. But yeah, and, like, there are so many times that I've seen in my friends. Fortunately, I don't think I've ever been the subject. I've probably been the subject of it. But, like, you know, just that one person who it's like, I could do without them. But those are toxic relationships. So maybe it's that's what that card could be used for, is recognizing when you're in the midst of, like, a toxic group. Could be work, too, because, like, people are chatty in politics in offices a lot.
Yeah, that kind of leads into where I'm thinking. I see the shadow in the Three of Cups, but first I just want to say, Max, that is a fantastic story.
Oh,
for a dog with separation anxiety to pull out the deck and choose specifically the Three of Cups. That is wonderful. I'm sorry that happened to your deck, but that's a great story.
Oh, separation anxiety and puppies is sad.
And deck destruction is sad, but
yes.
Anyway, so I think my shadow is clearly influenced by the nature of this card, which is these, like, 3 little ballerinas just in sync. They've got their cups. They're calm and peaceful. It's definitely a more peaceful Three of Cups than you envisioned. But what it brings to mind for me is, you know, the 3 friends, the 3 musketeers. That trope is so strong, and a lot of people experience it, and I did as a kid. I was one of a group of 3 close friends, and though this was not my experience per se, I mean, we see it in movies. I know what happens. It's the 3 best friends, but, like, one of you is jealous of the other, and the other 2 talk behind the other one's back, and it's kind of what you were saying, like politics in workplaces. And
yeah.
Someone else keyed into that too. When you have close relationships, like the Three of Cups, sometimes what comes with that territory is the nastiness that can come when you are close with other people. You know, it's more intense, but if you were just acquaintances, no big deal, you know.
Yeah. Once you start caring, like, what other people think of you, it's not even so much caring for them. It's like there's that stage, especially in, like, I found this, especially in offices. I don't really care about them as people so much. Like, I care about them on a grander scheme. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. But I don't care what they did this weekend. But I care what they think about me. And that's where things can go south, is when you don't have that, like, I care what they think about me, but I also care about them, and I can't, like, you know, like, there's got to be both, or else it's already by nature kind of shitty. And I think that's common in offices, is that everybody's worried about what everybody else thinks rather than how everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm. And on that sad note,
we're doing good at that, eh?
We're doing great. Well, this is Death and Tarot. I mean, if
Yeah.
well, on a sad note, 90% of the time we're doing it wrong. So we have a few minutes left, and what we wanted to do was open this up to questions, as well as to let you guys know that we've got a program running in January. I think you've probably heard of it. I hope you've heard of it. It's the Ace of Cartomancy program. We have one side for querents, people who want lots of readings at a discounted price and who are willing to give great feedback and testimonials. And then we have the reader side. Readers maybe like you, readers certainly like where Alie and I have been in the past, who just want to be better, who want one-on-one coaching and these workshops on a weekly basis. This is kind of what you would get with us every week, right? Or 3 out of 4 weeks of the month.
I think it's actually every week.
It is every week.
Every week. We set ourselves up for every week. Every week we get to talk about something fun and new.
Yeah, so it's a really extensive program. And if you have questions about that, or questions in general about Death and Tarot, now is the time. And before I forget, we also want to know what you guys want. What in the world do you want that we could maybe, like, what's that little hole in your heart that we could fill? So
yeah, because we've got our crazy little ideas, and we're gonna do them anyway. You know, like, we're gonna do our crazy ideas anyway. But it's fun when somebody's just like, hey, but what about this? And it's, oh, I didn't think of that. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna switch over to the chat and hope. Oh, yay, Katie. Yes, this workshop was a great idea. I love you. I love everybody here. This is amazing. Moira, you definitely had value. Everybody has value.
You told us about antimony tonight, I think.
Sorry? Yeah, she pulled in the antimony. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you, Max.
Is it my chat that's behind? Because Max, I can't see him. See, whatever it is going on with the chat.
I'm sorry, it's Margie. I know her as Max.
Oh! I'm good at this.
That's all my fault.
No, it's not your fault. You may have noticed, but I don't abide people talking down about themselves. I have very little patience for that.
Thank you, Akalashi. I hope I'm not screwing that up too bad. This is kind of what we want to do, is get more readers together. And what happened? Oh no, everything's okay. Get more readers together and do fun things like this, fun workshops, and whatever you can throw at us. Give us some ideas, guys. Tell
us what to do. Come on. I take direction really well, mostly.
Well, we'll give them a second, I guess. See, they're just throwing compliments at us, which is very nice. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm totally a fan of this. Your shadow side could not possibly be a robot, I need to say.
Oh, here we go. What is my shadow side, Alie?
An evil villainess, okay? No, okay, so I did this thing where in the middle of the night I started thinking about who all my friends would be in our spy agency. And I emailed you about this. And in my head, it was totally just like, nobody suspects the butterfly. Like, you're totally the, like, mastermind, like, where did she come from? Social engineering villainess. Like, no one sees you coming. No one has any idea it was you, robbing them blind of all their company secrets. Okay, I thought about this too much.
We have a question from Jen.
Oh, excellent.
No rotten tomatoes. Jen asks, is there a light side to the shadow cards workshop too? We haven't done a light side. This was kind of our take on, these are the light cards and we want to show you the dark side.
Yeah, like most of the cards that we picked were generally considered light, And so we focused on the shadow. That was why I wanted to switch it up a little bit with the Seven of Swords, because we were getting pretty heavy on the like fluffy, I keep using that word, on the light cards. And so we wanted to throw in a bit of shadow. That would be actually, Raven, what would you think of that if we did a separate workshop that was just like, let's make these efforts as, like, I feel like they're already really positive. Can we go much lighter with some of them?
Well, not these same cards. I think we have to pick...
Like the Ten of Swords.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen that done before. But that doesn't mean we can't do it.
We could do it. We could do it.
We could do a part 2.
Yeah. Oh, we can try and pick out all the cards and like that I don't know, they'd be all swords. Well, no, there'd be some wands, like the Eight of Wands. That one already seems pretty shadowy to me, like it's an expenditure of energy. I'm thinking too much.
Yeah, something we'll have to sit down with, I think. But...
Yes, but that was an excellent question. You totally made me think. I think it was Jen who asked that. Yes, Jen, thank you. Badass. Yeah. Oh, people are running with the idea. Love it.
So weird to see the delay going on here.
I keep commenting on it. I need to let it go. Accept it. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Yep, definitely the tower. I can see being in that workshop.
Yeah, the tower would be a hard one, although I had an ask today about someone with the tower being reversed.
Yeah.
That, yeah, I immediately went to, like, receiving support in those times. It doesn't take away. Like, that's the thing with... I don't look at reversals as opposites. I just look at them as, like, jams on the energy.
Mm-hmm.
So not even just, like... jam as in blockage, but just like different ways of looking at the energy. A lot of times I'll interpret it as an internal energy rather than an external one. That if I'm getting a lot of reversals, then there's probably a lot of internal work to be looking at and a lot of internal processes going on rather than, you know, like stuff being done to you. It's stuff you're doing to you. Anyway. But yeah, so the tarot reverse. Tarot tower, gosh, I need to stop. Raven, take over talking. I'm starting to babble and make my words not good.
Okay, I'm going to take over. I think we have to respect everyone's time. We filled our hour. No one have any questions. I mean, this is fun to chat. Maybe in the future we just have a chat, a really open forum.
We might need a different format because this delay is freaking me out.
Mm-hmm. We'll look into it.
Okay. Oh, okay. I love everybody here. Are we gonna say goodnight? I think we're saying goodnight. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. Do you wanna start and then I'll close this out?
I feel like we need like the Mr. Rogers goodbye song. I love him, by the way. But you know, it's been a really amazing evening. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and watching us ramble about cards, watching me ramble, watching our cats. Oh, let's go get the cats!
You go get Tinka.
Okay, you say your goodbye. I'll go find Tinka. She might be in a mood.
We're saying goodbye with cats because that's how we do it here at Death and Tarot. Well, I just want to reiterate what Alie said. Thank you guys. And again, our inbox is open. You can find us on Tumblr. And I'm stalling for the cat. So email us if you've got any cool ideas or if there's a workshop that you want to do. I think we're going to try to do this regularly. I'm speaking for the both of us. And there's Tinka.
Oh, she's not happy. She is so mad. She's so mad at me. I pulled her off the leather chair, which Jamie's going to be mad at me because she scratched it.
All right. And on that note, I'm Princess Tinka. We're going to officially say goodnight. So.
Goodbye, dears. Have a lovely evening.